right, so we are in the sunny state of New York, central New York. I guess that's where Syracuse is at. It's not western New York. I'm assuming it's central New York. I'm here to look at a portfolio of mobile home parks. It's 312 pads, 4 parks. They're about 20 minutes from downtown Syracuse, so right outside of Syracuse. And they're all pretty close together within 1 hour. You can hit all 4 within 1 hour. So it's early in the morning. We're gonna drive out there. We're gonna hit the first park. One of the things you say is, if you got some tenants out there, rule number 1, you never say, hey, I'm here looking at the park, or I'm here looking at the apartment, or I'm here looking at whatever, because I'm gonna buy it, right? You don't say that. You don't wanna scare nobody. Really, it's none of their business. I always say, hey, if anybody asks any questions, I'm the insurance guy. Everybody wants to talk to the insurance guy, right? Because everybody has something to bitch and complain about that's not working, or something's going on, or maybe trees are about to fall on somebody's house, something, right? They'll let you know. There's, plumbing issues somewhere or whatever, right? So everybody wants to talk to the insurance guy. So today, I'm the official insurance guy, Javier Insurance Company. That's the name of my company. And so yeah, we just walk around, take some video, take some pictures, measure some of the lots, check the utilities, the electrical connections. But one of the biggest things is just measuring the empty lots, the empty pads, just to make sure that you know what kind of trailer you can move in there, right? What size trailer you can move in there. That's definitely going to, that's super important to find out what the rent for that lot's going to be, right? Depending on the size of the trailer you can put in there. So that's one of the things we'll look at, why the vacant lots vacant and the size of them. Walk around, also make sure it's not, trashed or, any deferred maintenance that's super obvious. A lot of the homes are tenant owned, basically means the park doesn't own them, which is a good thing and a bad thing. It's a good thing because you don't have to, put any money or, time into them, right? You don't have any maintenance issues. But it's a bad thing if the previous owner didn't have strict rules and everybody did whatever the hell they wanted, right? They had shit all over the yard and, 85 cars on their property. So things like that, that's one thing you gotta look at, because as soon as you take over, you gotta set the expectations right away, saying, hey, there's some new ownership and there's not gonna be trash everywhere. So that's one of my biggest concerns coming out, is just taking a look at the park, make sure it's in general good condition, check out the roads and how clean it is. So it'll be a fun next 8 hours driving those 4 parks. All right, so right now we're just walking the park. This is one of the 4 parks we're looking at. This has 125 sites, 76% occupied. So there's probably 30 empty lots. And we've already drove through the park and we found probably 5 or 6 empty homes, right? Some are pretty bad shape. We don't know if we can repair them or fix them. Usually if you're gonna spend more than 15K repairing a home, you might as well bring a new one. It's a pretty nice park. I'm actually pleasantly surprised. It's got nice paved roads and everything looks pretty clean. For the most part, a lot of parks that have tenant-owned homes, depends on the owner, they can be pretty bad, right? They don't keep up with the park. They don't have any rules, things like that. But I'm walking around, and even though they're in a little bit older shape, a lot of the homes, they're actually really good. Like if you look on this side over here, I mean, it looks really nice, and it looks like an older home, right? Nice and clean. Everything, the yard is picked up. Everybody has their trash out today. So I'm very happy so far, just doing an initial walkthrough, that it's just a very clean park. Got good tenants that like to take care of their property. So that's my first impression of it right away, as soon as I drove in. So what it's gonna look like for this particular purchase is 312 pads. It's 4 parks, really close to each other. And the purchase price is $5.4 million. Currently, we're doing our analysis, and with the current income that it has, is worth around $7 million. Give or take a few $100K, right? But that's a good number. So we're getting a discount at purchase, which is great. Once we fill up, it's 25% vacant, roughly. Once we put some new homes in here, we move some tenants in here, it takes about 3 years, it'll be worth close to $11 million. So that's a really good purchase. Now, I am in New York. That was reason number 1. I did not want to buy this. mobile home park, but we got a great purchase price. And in a pro forma, the current rents right now are $345. So people talk about, hey, what if you can't raise the rents, restrictions and all that? Okay, so let's assume we don't raise the rents at all for the next 3 years. All we do is we fill it in and we get occupancy to 90%. It's worth close to $11 million without having to even raise the rent. So there's just a lot of upside on this park. A discount at the beginning, very clean, only 12 to 15 park-owned homes out of 300 plus pads. That is great. So its maintenance will be low. And currently they're running at, I think, close to a 60%, 55, 60% expense ratio. Really, you should be at 40% expense ratio for a mobile home park. So if we buy this park, when we buy this park, if we don't do anything to it, we don't put any new tenants, but all we do is just get the expense ratio to 40%, like it should be, it'll be worth $9 million, $8.5 million. Easily, I mean, easily, it'll be worth that without putting a single dime into it. So, coming to New York to buy a property, sure, people make money in New York all the time. A lot of people are leaving, but doesn't mean you can't make money in real estate. I'm about 20 minutes north of downtown Syracuse, so it's not very far. I can fly up here, drive it if I need to, and it's close to a big city, right? It's not in the middle of nowhere. So first impression, I'm actually very pleased. So we're gonna walk the rest of the park, take some pictures, walk some of the empty lots, some of the empty pads, and then we're gonna go from there. All right, so what I'm doing now is I need to measure these pads, right? You wanna find out what the width and the length is. There's a certain space you need between each trailer, right? You need a certain space. And also you need to make sure you can put a single wide in here, you're gonna put a double wide. All these are single wides for the most part, so it'll be a single wide. And you gotta find out how long your lot is so you can find out what size trailer you can put on here. If you can put a little mini trailer, right, maybe your lot rent's $100. But if you can put a nice full size one, a 3.2 or a 2.2 or something like that, then you can go ahead and charge the market rents, right? $350, $400. So like in here, you can notice there should be 2 trailers can go in here. They're empty, one right here, one right here. And if you notice here on the one to my left, there's a fence right there, right? So unfortunately, hopefully they're not too close across to the other pad that when we buy the park, they're not gonna be very happy because we gotta tell them they gotta move their fence because it could be on the other property. So it's kind of certain little things you gotta look at the pads, check the neighbors, make sure they don't take over, right? Sometimes they'll build a shed or they'll park all their cars, or biggest thing is they have a pool or they have a shed or they have a fence. So you're gonna have to have the uncomfortable conversation with them saying, hey, you gotta move your shit, sorry. But just the way it goes. Okay, so we're here at the second park. It's 28 pads, and this one's the smallest one. It's the furthest one as well, and it does not have the paved roads. Still looks pretty clean, not as nice as the first one, but it looks pretty clean, right? Everything's filled in, not a lot of trash, just a basic cleanup, maybe mow the lawn, things like that. It's only 2 roads, very small roads, and we'll come in here, we'll throw some gravel, just make them out, smooth them out, make them a little bit better, and just make sure these all the tenants clean the outside of their trailers, power wash them, and I'm happy with this one as well for being a small park. Got some kids playing. We have some kids playing in the other street as well. They're playing basketball, which is a good sign. You want kids, playing outside. That's good. So on this one here, I'm just gonna walk around, take some pictures, see how many empty lots we have, and also how big they are to find out, what kind of trailer we can put in there. All right, so we're walking the third park, and you come out, you'll have the, tenants come out and want to know what's going on, right? Because they know everybody here. They've been here 10, 20 years, so they know every single car. So they all coming out, want to know what's going on. Best thing you can say is, hey, I'm here from the insurance company. And right away they start bitching, complaining, about all the problems, anything going on, what's happening. So they tell you everything about the park, right? So especially, you know, they'll say how bad an owner you have, etc. Right? They'll complain. So then you start finding out, like, hey, what's the issues? Like, if you have any, like, water problems, or like you see a lot of the trees behind me, they're falling on people's houses. So, you know, all that stuff is good, because then you realize what, you know, your potential client, right? Your tenant, your client, what they want, what's going to make them happy, and of course you also want to protect, you know, their home, right? So if there's some bad trees that you got to cut down, that's perfect. At least they let you know, like, hey, this tree, that tree, or whatever, right? It's just kind of the best way to do it, is just come out and hopefully you get some friendly ones, and it definitely helps. So this is our third park that we're walking. 64 pads. It's paved road, just needs a little bit of cleaning up. A lot of trees, a lot of tree work, but overall it's pretty solid. I like it. Everybody seems pretty nice, and a lot of people have been here a long time, 15, 20, 30 years. So it's pretty cool. Okay, so we're walking the last park. This one has about 115 pads, and as if you look around, there's not as many trees as one of the other ones that we looked at. So it's a lot better. It's just because it doesn't have that hazard, right, of trees falling on people's houses. You got some trees, but not too bad. The park's got the paved roads, which I like. A few potholes, but not a big deal. And it's pretty clean, right? I mean, today's trash day. Everybody has their trash out. You know, that's fine. You know, it's not in front of their house, so that's a good thing. We're gonna walk this. Let's see if we run into any tenants, get all the secrets of what's going on in the community, right? They know everybody, but it looks really very well taken care of, right? You got the nice cut grass. As soon as we come up here, I'm gonna take some pictures as well, but as soon as we come up here, you'll see there's an empty space over here, and that is perfect for, I don't know, I'm assuming 1, 2, 3, 4, probably 5 new trailers right there. Easily 5 new trailers. So come right in, put them in here, lease them up, sell them, whatever you're gonna do, whatever the strategy is for that particular park. I like this part. There's a fourth one that I look at, and I really like it. It's got some older homes, but looks pretty decent. It has a lot of potential, and the roads are good. So overall, out of the 4 parks that I looked at, it's my second favorite for sure. All right, so I get asked all the time, you know, I just finished walking these 4 mobile home parks, and I get it. One of the biggest questions I get is, you know, what's the best strategy? You know, what is your best strategy? What should I do? Or, you know, a whole bunch of questions behind the best strategy. And honestly, there's so many ways to structure deals and projects and financing and investors, so many ways to structure it. But there's one strategy that works the best, like hands down. The best strategy, in my opinion, is your purchase price, right? If you buy right, if you have the right purchase price, you can pretty much have a lot of exit strategies, which is great. If you only have one exit strategy, hopefully it works out just as planned, but it's better to have 3, 4, 5, or 6 exit strategies in case the market shifts. You can pivot and you still make money, right? Or you can make a couple of mistakes and you still make money, right? Because you bought it at a good price, right? You got a great purchase price. In real estate, if you have enough money and if you have enough time, you can pretty much make just about any deal work, right? If you have unlimited funds and unlimited time, you can make it work. But right, but you know, we don't have unlimited funds or unlimited time, so let's make it work from the day you purchase, right? So just get a good purchase price, and you'll have a better chance of not losing money in real estate. So I'm in New York. I never thought I would say, hey, I'm in New York because I want to buy a property, right? I'm like, man. But the more I look at this property, the more that strategy is working out, right? It's buy right, get a good price. So I just walked it today, spent the whole day going through all the parks, talking to tenants. And overall, I'm pretty happy. I'm pretty happy with what I saw. And there's 3 or 4 different things right away we can do that won't cost any money and get the price of the property even higher than what it is. So we already have, over $1 million worth of equity just in the purchase, right? We got such a good price that as soon as we close, we'll have $1 million plus in equity. Hopefully, maybe $2 million right off the bat. And then there should be a couple of things we can do just to change the expense ratio right away without having to spend any money. Just cut back on some areas where the current owner is spending that he doesn't need to spend, and the price goes up. The value of the property goes up another $1.5 million, like right away. That's even before we go in there and maybe clean it up or cut some trees or put some new trailers in there. That's even before that. So I'm very happy about this project, and unfortunately, I'm actually sad to say that I thought I would never buy something in New York, because everybody talks about all the time, hey, there's so much restrictions, you can't raise the rent so much, there's a lot of red tape. But look, I'm in Syracuse, New York, and I see apartment buildings, I see office buildings, I see everybody has some commercial property. They're making money, right? They're making money, so somebody has to make money in New York, so why not, right? Why not you? Why not me, right? If you get the right purchase price. If you buy right, then you have not unlimited, but you're not limited in your exits, right? I could buy this, close on it, and sell it tomorrow if I wanted to. I can buy the property, sell it tomorrow, make $1 million right away. I can buy it. I can do a lot of different things. So I like my options. I like to have options. It makes me sleep better at night. And for the investors that are coming on this project with me as well, it's good for me to show them, hey, look, here's 3 or 4 different options we're going to work in case we have to pivot or something happens. So overall, this is a go. Unless there's some major issues when we check, all the sewage and plumbing and all that. But I don't think there'll be any major issues. So overall, it's a go, and I'm going to get back home and get back on the calls with the lenders and our investors and get this due diligence done quickly so we can close in the next 45 days if everything goes as planned. So again, best strategy, buy right. Best strategy is your purchase price.